now has 261 of them pledged to her. Barack Obama has 178 pledged to him, giving Clinton a slight lead overall, but they can always change their minds, and a lot of them haven't said who they're going to vote for. Christine Pelosi is one of those 796 super delegates. She's the author of Campaign Boot Camp. She's also the daughter of House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi. Thanks a lot for taking the time. We appreciate it. So,
thanks for having me. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Yes. Let me. What did I say? Did I say something different? I'm sorry. I was reading.
Majority Leader.
All right. I apologize. We made a mistake there in the teleprompter. Hey, let me ask you a question. The super delegates, should they be able? I mean, should they ultimately be able to decide the Democratic nomination?
I think that the American people will decide the Democratic nomination. This is an organizer's dream. Dan, as you mentioned, I wrote a book, Campaign Boot Camp. I travel the country organizing particularly young people, future leaders in elective office and nonprofits. This is heaven. We have millions of people coming out who've never voted before. Others are voting with great enthusiasm. 2/3 of the voters say they would vote for the other person in the fall if their first choice wasn't the nominee. So I think this is great. I think the American people will make this decision.
But that's, look, that is probably going to be the case. It is also the sort of the rosiest way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that if things get really close heading into the convention, the super delegates, and there are a lot of them, 796, as you know, they've got something like up to 40% of the amount needed for one candidate to win, could absolutely make the difference. And there are a lot of people out there who think that there's something almost undemocratic about that. What do you make of that?
Well, I know how I got elected to the Democratic National Committee. I've been running since 1996, elected every 4 years, and I get elected by the people at my state committee in California, the people who stuff the envelopes and walk the precincts and work the phone banks just like I do. And they elect me to work not just 1 week every 4 years at the convention, but day in and day out to register Democrats, to encourage people to run for office. We work together to co-found the Veterans and Military Families Council at the Democratic National Committee, and I'm very proud of the work I do, and I'm proud of my role as a super delegate. And I'll tell you this,
real quick,
I have been campaigning for years and years and years, and it's always the most wholesome process when you let the people decide, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to step back, let the process work its will, and this summer see who emerges with the popular vote and the popular delegate count.
Christine Pelosi, super delegate, and the daughter of the Speaker of the House. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
I'm Dan Abrams. My colleague David Gregory picks up our political coverage next. He'll be joined by Texas Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison. She's